The 85 kilowatt hour pack is making a comeback, sort of. California significantly changes the law regulating public charging. Made in China Model 3 is flying out of the delivery centers, and we go FUD busting again, this time dealing with a frozen car. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 567 for January 15th, 2020. This show is sponsored by my supporter Richard. If you're in the market for a new Tesla, please consider using his referral code. Ask your salesperson to use code Richard174 or go direct to the web link ts.la/Richard174 and pick up a 1,000 mile supercharging credit for your new vehicle. Kicking off today's show is the unexpected return of an older style Model S and Model X battery pack. Well, kind of. Electrek reports to us that a new 85 kilowatt hour battery pack has shown up on Tesla's publicly available parts catalog. This is mildly interesting because the 85 kilowatt hour version of the battery pack has long since been discontinued. Interestingly enough, an owner on Tesla Motors Club had one of these installed as a replacement for a pack he owned that had encountered a bug. He reported that a 92% charge for him was showing as 265 miles, while the app reported that a 100% charge would be 288 miles. For the curious, the Model S 85 was sold as a 265 mile range car, and its dual motor version was 268. So it would appear that regardless of which variant this owner had, he got about a 7.5% range increase over what the car was capable of when it was new. So the question becomes exactly how the same 85 kilowatt hour pack seems to provide more energy than it used to. Improved cell chemistry in the 18650 cells? Different pack architecture than the original? Inquiring minds would love to know. Item number 2 comes to us from Charged, where they give us the lowdown on a change in California law regarding how public charge station owners bill for their services. A very important distinction here is that there is a difference in implementation deadlines for level 2 versus level 3 chargers, as well as existing versus new chargers. But let's first get to what exactly the law change is. Those of you Tesla owners without lifetime free supercharging probably already know that depending on the state you're in, Tesla bills you for supercharging either by the kilowatt hour or by the minute. The reason for this disparity is that 20 states actually prohibit the sale of electricity per kilowatt hour by entities that are not utilities. In order to sidestep the issue, charge network operators have only one recourse, which is to bill by the amount of time connected to their networks. The downside to this method is, of course, that not all minutes connected to a charge network are equal. 30 minutes one time may get significantly less actual charge into your vehicle than another time depending on other cars using the station, your own state of charge, etc. However, California is not one of these states. In fact, they have done just the opposite. In the absence of previous regulation, companies previously could choose the way they billed. California has now enacted a driver-friendly law which forces network owners to bill per kilowatt hour. California's Division of Measurement Standards said in a rebuttal to charge networks upset by the change, quote, "The department acknowledges this group of comments and disagrees with the interpretation of the primary commodity being traded. As defined in BPC 13400A, 4, and P, electricity is considered a type of motor vehicle fuel. NIST Handbook 44 makes clear what the unit of measure of electricity as a motor vehicle fuel dispensed from an EVSE shall be measured by, either the kilowatt hour or the megajoule," end quote. As I said though, implementation varies. New Level 2 chargers must comply by 2021, while new Level 3 chargers must comply by 2023. Existing infrastructure, however, may actually end up being replaced before requiring compliance. Existing Level 2 chargers have until 2031 to comply, and existing Level 3 chargers have until 2033 to comply. So the great news is a touch muted here, but still good to see California enacting a very consumer-friendly law. One other requirement of this change is that charge stations must include a display of what you're being billed, much the way a gas pump shows the gallons delivered and the price charged. Item number 3 is a short blurb from @RayForTesla on Twitter, detailing the amazing popularity of the newly launched Model 3 that is made in China. In short, it's really popular. Ray tweeted, quote, "Made in China Model 3 update. Tesla sales rep says red and black Model 3s are completely sold out for Q1. Limited quantities of white, blue, and silver Model 3s, if ordered now, can still be delivered before end of quarter." She further says all orders, regardless of color, placed after Wednesday, January 15th, won't be delivered before end of quarter one, end quote. So much for the demand problem, FUD, that bears like to throw around out there. Looks like the factory will be quite busy for some time to come. Lastly, today we get to go FUD busting again, as friend of the show Trev from Tesla Owners Online has published a video thoroughly debunking the myth that Teslas are more susceptible to having doors and windows frozen shut than a traditional vehicle in the winter. I think Trev does a fantastic job proving the opposite, that it's actually better to have a Tesla in this situation. The key boils down to the fact that while not all other cars have remote start capabilities, and in fact most other cars don't have remote start capabilities, every single Tesla ever produced can have its heat turned on remotely. And with that in mind, if you're dealing with a frozen car, you simply open your Tesla app and set the heating system to high and watch the ice drip from your vehicle. Check out his video to see the cool time lapse he made showing the de-icing process. That is it for today's show. Thanks to all my patrons supporting the show at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. And as always, a special shout out to all the super patrons supporting the show at the $10 plus level. They're Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dorian Steve Guberman, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, Megawatt Photovoltaic Development, Todd Sullivan, Mitch Long, Zortec LED Canada, Morven Ogg, Raymond and Deborah Malkowitz, T-Sportline, Travis and Cheyenne Rush, Chris Hovis, Craig Murphy, Vicky Kirk, Ricky Johnston, Nathan Garza, Paul Gona, Ed Patterman, and Sunil Joseph. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits and use the hashtag AskTeslaTidbits if you'd like your question to be considered for the show. Until next time, keep it charged and hit the road.